Hi, Victoria.
Hi.
So are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm just going to share my screen.
All right, fantastic.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Victoria Tucci, and I'm a current health science student at McMaster University with a special interest in space medicine. It's a pleasure to be here to present my current research under the supervision of Dr. Joan Seri about COVID-19 sequelae. And you might be wondering what sequelae means, and it's essentially a long-term effect or pathological condition resulting from previous disease, and in this case, COVID-19. So I'll be exploring the implications of this for return to flight for military aircrew. With over 110 million total cases reported globally, the COVID-19 pandemic persists unabated. Yet there currently exists limited information about clinical sequelae and survivors. The literature reveals that many people are likely to suffer from persistent COVID-19 symptoms and even emergent adverse health events after infection. With clinical knowledge from previous coronaviruses, we can suspect COVID-19 to have an impact on multiple organ systems, as noted on the slide. But information about possible consequences beyond these predicted systems remains uncertain. Nevertheless, my research aims to present the current available literature that substantiates the lasting health impacts of COVID-19 and how this may cause an implication for return to flight post-infection. The aims of my research include looking into the persistent and emergent long-term effects of mild and asymptomatic COVID-19 specifically for relatively healthy individuals with no or only minor comorbidities. A comorbidity is essentially an additional condition to what the person might be suffering in addition to COVID-19. These patient characteristics are most applicable to a screened aircrew population. So essentially, this will help inform return to flight policies for aircrew and suggest appropriate follow-up for aviators recovering from COVID-19. My research is particularly important because it is extremely relevant to the current social, medical, and political climates. The COVID-19 pandemic has introduced unprecedented health considerations for astronauts as well upon return to flight and training. Although the hazards of the aviation environment are different than microgravity, like physiological demands, lack of operational tolerance for subtle or sudden incapacitation, etc., my research serves as a fundamental basis for understanding the lasting health impacts of COVID-19. So after a comprehensive review of the literature through database searches, I created this flowchart as a high-level summary of our findings. On the left side, we can see that the majority of studies presenting persistent symptoms in those with no comorbidities primarily occurred at a follow-up time of 3 months and are primarily cardiac outcomes. By contrast, the emergent health effects occurred mostly at 1 to 2 months follow-up time after COVID-19 infection, and these consisted of cardiac and respiratory findings. On the right side of the chart, we can see findings of those with mild COVID-19 who did have minor comorbidities. The majority of the studies that identified persistent and emergent effects occurred at around 1 to 2 months after the infection and included neurological abnormalities, mental health symptoms, and even respiratory events. So essentially, this helps to bring awareness to the importance of implementing life-saving screening for preventative and proactive astronaut healthcare upon return to spaceflight or training after COVID-19 infection. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Victoria. That was really fantastic. So with that, we're actually coming to the conclusion of our 3-minute thesis competition. I hope that these discussions have convinced you about the diversity of researchers and minds in the space industry. But if they haven't, then we have a expo coming up at 3 p.m. right after this. We have over 30 booths there to present about the different companies and different organizations that are in the space industry. And so if you're interested in getting to know about the landscape of the space industry, and somebody just posted, go McMaster. Definitely there's a number of university organizations there. There's a number of rocket teams from different universities. There's a number of industry professionals who are there happy to talk to you about what's going on in the space industry of Canada and the world. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely come to the industry session at 3 p.m. And you can go there by clicking on the Expo button on the left. So with that being said, I think what we'll do now is we'll reconvene, me and Katie, to decide. Okay, and Dr. Alex Ellery has also said that he's been paying attention, so that's amazing. So we'll convene for about 5 minutes, and then we'll give you guys about 10 minutes to relax, stretch out, and get ready to make some connections at the expo. So with that, I look forward to speaking with some of you at the expo itself, and maybe at the end of the day as well in the networking session. So, all right, see you all then.